To the people of Kashmir who were affected by this terrible terrorist attack. The president's already spoken with Prime Minister Modi. I believe I'll be speaking with him later this afternoon. And obviously we're providing whatever assistance and help we can provide to the government, to the people of India. But this has been a wonderful visit. The people here have been so welcoming, so kind to us. We're sad to leave, but excited to get back home.
The Pope obviously passed away a few days ago.
Yeah.
Are you planning to attend his funeral?
So I'm not currently planning to attend his funeral. I'm not currently planning to not attend his funeral. We just haven't really thought that much about when his funeral is going to be and who's going to attend from our government. I mean, let me just say a couple of words about the Holy Father. Obviously, I was able to see him very briefly the morning of Easter Sunday. I knew he was very ill. I didn't realize how sick he was. The thing that I will always remember Pope Francis for is that he was a great pastor. People on the margins, poor people, people suffering from diseases, they saw in Pope Francis an advocate and I think a true expression of Christian love. So we're very saddened by it. Obviously, our condolences to the Catholics all over the world, but especially back home who loved and honored the Holy Father.
What did it feel like knowing you were maybe one of the last officials to meet with him before he died?
Yeah, you know, I've thought a lot about that. I mean, it's pretty crazy, actually. And obviously, when I saw him, I didn't know that he had less than 24 hours still on this earth. I think it was a great blessing. But, you know, I think he saw a lot of people. I think he affected a lot of lives. And I try to just, you know, remember that I was lucky that I got to shake his hand and tell him that I pray for him every day because I did and I do.
In his final Easter message that the Archbishop read in St. Peter's Square, you know, he talked about not stirring up contempt against the vulnerable and migrants and the logic of fear not being something world leaders should yield to. Do you have any thoughts on that? And has his death caused you at all to reflect on the policies of the Trump administration? Right?
Well, I think that obviously a lot of people, especially in the American press, want to make the Holy Father, his entire legacy, and even his death about American politics. I think it was obviously a much broader figure than the United States of America. He represents over 1 billion Catholics worldwide. Yes, I'm aware that he had some disagreements with some of the policies of our administration. He also had a lot of agreements with some of the policies of our administration. I'm not going to soil the man's legacy by talking about politics. I think he was a great Christian pastor, and that's how I choose to remember the Holy Father.
Would you like to see the next Pope continue in the direction that Francis took the church, or would you like a more traditional path?
You know, I won't pretend to give guidance to the Cardinals on who they should select as the next Pope. We've got plenty of issues to focus on in the United States. I'll just say a prayer for wisdom because I obviously want them to pick the right person. I want them to pick somebody who will be good for the world's Catholics. But I'll let them make that decision, and obviously they're entitled to do so.
Question on Secretary Pete Hegseth. There's been staffers who've come out saying that he's not fit for the job. Do you still have confidence in the secretary?
Look, I have 100% confidence in the secretary. I know the president does, and really the entire team does. It's one of the most bizarre things about the Hegseth nomination. From the very beginning, the media seemed to want to tank it, and when they failed and they got confirmed, they decided they wanted to keep on that effort to destroy Pete Hegseth as a man, as a Secretary of Defense. I think he's doing a great job. I think that he's brought a certain spirit back to the Department of Defense. And if you look at our military recruitment numbers, that's, in my view, the best testament to his leadership of the military is that for the first time in a very long time, we don't have terrible recruitment problems in the Army, the Navy, and the Air Force. That's a great testament to his leadership. And I wish, frankly, the press talked more about that and not about anonymous sourcing from random staffers.
Are there any updates on trade talks you could share with us on how the negotiations are going here or elsewhere?
Well, look, we're talking to everybody, especially our most significant trading partners. I believe Secretary Bessent's talked a lot about what we've done with Japan. I talked with Prime Minister Modi about this, and of course we announced that we have come to the terms of reference. So we're making progress across the board. It's a little bit too early to prejudge to say what any of these deals is going to look like. But I think the fundamental thing that the president has said is, look, global trade has become fundamentally imbalanced. The American taxpayer and the American nation has become the piggy bank for the entire world. We absorb the world's producer surplus, but that's bad for American workers, it's bad for American exporters, and it's something the president ran on stopping, and I think that he's making great progress in stopping it early on in this second term.
Abrego Garcia's wife has been very